some floor repair today. All the extra holes that people have put in here over the years. It looks like at one point there was bucket seats in here based on those and those. Typical of this car, they weren't too kind with doing anything. Okay, well today is the 6th of August. And this has been going on here for the past week, so not as much progress happened on the car because even though they're doing most of the work, there was some distractions. I had to, repair this or repair that or answer questions and what have you, get stuff, whatever, you know how that goes. They're doing that wall and the trim on that wall, and they power washed and refinished the deck. One of the things I had to do was to remake this bottom step, because this bottom step was a temporary thing. When I was done building this deck 25 years ago, I was tired. I was going to do this out of concrete, and since I was tired, I did a temporary step out of wood. And like I said, that was 25 years ago. So being 75 years old, I figured, you know what, I'm going to do another temporary step. Hopefully that'll last 25 years so I won't have to worry about it. And there it is. Did that yesterday. Have done some work on the car, and I'll show you that a bit later. Chickens are requiring a little attention. I've got a broody hen that I'm trying to deal with, and we did get that out of the car. That wasn't part of the original plan. That's another one of those growth things. You know how it keeps growing. This rear end, I think the guy I bought this car from said his brother used to drag race it, and I think that explains the reinforcement you see under the differential. And you notice they gusseted the what do you call those? The mounts where the springs go, spring pads. Also, they welded these things on there, so I can't change the. I'm sorry, am I showing you what I want? They welded the little holder on there that holds the rubber. I'd like to replace those because one of them's in bad shape. I don't know. I have to look. I got the new ones before I realized I couldn't change them. But anyway, we took this off because the shackles that someone had put on there were nasty. And they put them on wrong. They had a little offset in each one, and you're supposed to take the perch on the frame is probably 3 inches wide, and the spring itself I think is 2 inches wide. So each of the shackle halves had a offset in it to take up that 1 inch difference. Well, instead of facing them towards each other when they put them on there, they faced them both the same. So the things were on at some goofy angle. That's how we noticed there was a problem. So anyway, I bought new perches. The right length. The other ones that were on there were long, which was going to lift the back of the car, probably for some tire clearance in the back. But anyway, so we got this out now, and I found out when I took it out that one of the springs was broken. The spring that receives all the torque when you dump the clutch at 3,000 RPM, 4,000 RPM, the right spring had one broken leaf. So again, go a little further. We're putting new springs. They're supposed to be here today. We did start over the weekend. We did start a little work on the floor, some patches. There's all kinds of extra holes where it looks like they had bucket seats in here, and other holes that we have no idea what they're for. There's little screw holes going along here. We have no idea what those are for. Obviously there's seat belt holes here in the back, plus some extra ones. So I just finished cleaning up after the bottom step of the deck, because I had the saw out and I had sawdust everywhere, and the old material, I had to get rid of all of that, cut that up, throw it in the debris bin. But we're back on this now. So here we go. I got to make some patches. That's what I was going to say. I got to make some patches for those holes. We tried filling the hole, and it doesn't work that well. It ends up making the hole bigger in most cases. Before the metal's not that thick, it starts to melt away, and it's dirty, and it's whatever. It's hard to get it clean. So I'm going to make some plugs, and we're going to try putting some patches in those holes, so you're welding around the area, some good new metal to old metal. I don't know. I think it'll help. I was holding the aluminum underneath it as a backup, like a heat sink and whatever, and that worked better too. So battery box is all fabricated. Here's the box. The battery's not in it right now, but the little chair that it sits on is in there. There you can see the vent tube sticking out of it. I got it in a grommet. Positive cable is going to go in here through that hose that I'm using as a raceway, and the negative cable will go through here. This is like a compression fitting, electrical compression fitting for cord. It's a waterproof cord connector. So when you tighten this nut, it's like a ferrule in there. It squeezes that ferrule down onto the cable. So that's a negative cable. It really doesn't matter, but it'll be a nice connection into the box. So that's done. That part of it is done. We mounted the little pedestals in the trunk that the box sits on. You can see them. Let's see if I can get this to stay up. There it goes, I think. See, I had some of this hex material, so we used this hex material as the pedestals instead of the little stainless pipe sections that I had before. This way we don't really need to put the washers underneath them and underneath the box, because they're considerably more material on that hex stuff. It was solid. So we are making progress. I did a little body work on the floor. The floor was less than flat. So like I said, we're making some progress. Still got to do some little repairs in here. The shock mount on these things is always a weak point, and this one's all, again, the torque side, the right side, is all torn up and rotten, so I got to make some patches for that. So it's moving. We're learning a few new things we need to do, but we're getting by them. We're addressing everything. Got the gas tank back out again. The fuel line's mostly off. Only enough the part we need to make sure we clear it with the exhaust. The brake lines mostly are removed for finishing of the frame in the underfloor area. So as I say, we're making some progress. Now with the differential out of here, I can finish that whole back section before we put the differential back in, and I can do the differential with it over there. You notice I made the little fixture to roll it around on. I made the little fixture here. I had the wheels under another homemade cart. So I took the wheels and I built that. It took me about an hour to build that the other day. So it rolls around pretty nice. And the wheels do have brakes on them. Two of them spindled. This one's only got two swivel ones. Two straight ones and two swivel ones. But it's adequate for what we're doing here. There's all the framework for the tent that used to be around the car. That's got to get put away once the painters are out of here. That stuff all goes under my deck, and they had it all visqueened off last week, so I couldn't do that. Couch is supposed to go away too. They were supposed to take that Saturday, and then that got delayed or whatever, rescheduled. So it's still here, but hopefully soon that'll go away. So we're making progress. No more doors getting bent, hopefully. Anyway, later. Bye.